Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And today, the 2023 Merry Marutai Marathon officially comes to a close as I review the flavor that started it all. This is Marutai's original ramen. Before we get started, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my reviews. Now, not every Marutai product is part of their regional series or their restaurant supervised lines, which is all I've been reviewing so far. There's actually a handful of basic flavors that they make in very simple packaging, like tonkotsu shoyu, sesame shoyu, and this one, which is just their original ramen. According to their website, this is the first instant stick noodle product that Marutai launched all the way back in 1959. It's got 2 servings of their excellent non-fried noodles coupled with a light broth flavored with chicken, pork, and soy. It's totally simplistic, but because it's Marutai, I'm willing to bet that it's still going to be pretty great. We'll find out soon enough. Now, this is usually the part of the video where I tell you how to buy these and how much it cost, and for that I have a story. So use the chapters in the description to skip if you don't want to hear all this. So there's a website called zenplus.jp. Awesome site made by the same people who run Zenpop, and its purpose is to act as an intermediary so you can buy things from Japanese vendors. Things like stationery, toys, apparel, snacks, and of course, ramen. Now their shipping and handling prices are extremely high because they're doing all the work of interfacing with the vendors and getting the products shipped to you. And it's expensive, but they offer very good service for stuff you would never be able to buy otherwise. And so a little while back they had a really good coupon. Plus, the Ramen Raider had made a video plugging some super premium ramen he had gotten from them, and I thought, well, let's order some stuff. So I grabbed a bunch of things to try, some of which were for the channel for review, and some of which were just special treats for me. Now, you may or may not know that a lot of Japanese ramen has pork and chicken in it, and the nice folks at the USDA are of the opinion that Japanese pork and chicken shouldn't enter the United States. And let me cover my ass by saying that by no means should you try to get something through customs that you know is prohibited. So in reality, if you order something with a prohibited item, then you're kind of gambling because you might be one of those random recipients whose package gets inspected. And oh boy, was mine inspected. Every single item I ordered, like some of the Japanese Nissan varieties, a gift pack of Ippudo ramen, some other stuff, they all got confiscated and destroyed by customs, except for this. This one lone pack of Marutai survived the great ramen purge of 2023. So normally I would say you can find this pack of ramen on Zen Plus for under $2 US plus shipping. But I'm not going to divulge how much this one package of ramen actually cost me when you factor in all the other ramen that got destroyed. Still, that's not Zen Plus's fault. They're pretty awesome if you ever want to take the gamble, but just be aware of your country's import laws when doing so. So the sad and hilarious epilogue to this story is that I didn't know this, but this contains pork and chicken. So thank you, USDA, for protecting me from the ½ an ounce of pork and chicken extract that you destroyed, only to let this pack slide for some reason. Great job. Anyway, cool story, bro, am I right? Let's move on to actually reviewing this thing. The salt equivalent for this pack is 4.2 grams, so that means roughly 1,680 milligrams of sodium. That's actually pretty low for Marutai, but it's still pretty high in general, so just watch out. Inside the pack, we've got 2 bundles of Marutai's regular straight noodles. So yes, we're back to 2 servings after those restaurant packs that only had 1 serving. And we've got soup packets and oil packets. Now, Google Lens tells me that the broth contains vegetable powder, soy sauce, pork, chicken, bonito, some non-specific spices, and miso. And the oil packet is not specifically called out in the ingredients, but it's possibly just a vegetable oil to add some richness, maybe sesame oil. We'll find out together. One last thing before I review this. There's actually 2 possible preparations for this, one of which is making this into a soup, which I think is the original intended recipe, and one of which translates to making this Chinese style, which is actually a cold noodle dish called hayashi chuka, which involves draining and cooling the noodles and then making a sauce with these packets and some additional ingredients like vinegar and more soy sauce. I'm opting for the soup recipe for this review. I'll go cook this and be right back. Okay, here's the noodles in the water. We're going to add the powdered soup packet first. Doesn't smell too bad. Very pork and soy forward. Almost like their powdered tonkotsu. And that is sesame oil. I love the smell of sesame oil, don't you? All right, and just a quick stir to get this all together. And there we go. You can see we've got a nice light soy broth. It smells quite a bit like the sesame oil that I just put in. Let's give this a taste. All right, starting with the noodles. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but these are perfect noodles in my opinion. Marutai's noodles are incredible quality, nice firm texture, 10 out of 10 as always. As far as spiciness goes here, nothing to worry about. There's no chili pepper in here. This is a 0 out of 10 on spice. And now let's talk about the flavor of the soup. It's pretty good. Definitely the weakest of all the Marutai varieties I've tried so far, but that is because it is the most basic of all their flavors. The broth has a very light soy and meat flavor to it, with a punch of that sesame oil coming through in every bite. The bonito that I saw listed in the ingredients here doesn't really come through, other than probably a little umami in the back. This doesn't have a fishy flavor at all, so you don't really have to worry about that. Really, the best thing I can compare this to is if you made a really rich chicken stock, added a splash of soy sauce to it and some sesame oil, this would be what you'd get. So it's not exactly what I would call a remarkable flavor, but it is a nice comforting flavor. There are no flakes, as you can see. This is completely bare bones. No sesame seeds, no dried green onions. That's kind of unfortunate compared to what some of the other varieties come with, because I think even just a little sprinkle of sesame seeds in here for some texture would have made this sing just a little bit more. The consistency of the broth is as promised, a nice rich oiliness with a light texture, which I can appreciate. I know I rave about thicker broths all the time, but you know, a light broth like this has its place. All things considered, excellent noodles, pretty good broth, lack of garnishes. Yeah, I'm going to score this one at a 7 out of 10 as an overall score. It's good, but it's not as eye-opening as any of the flavors in their local series or their restaurant supervised series. Alright, and there we go. Even with a very simplistic recipe, Marutai's quality here is apparent. It's certainly not worth the extreme hassle it took me to buy in the US. But if you find yourself in a position to buy this and you like the idea of a simple broth with the flavors I described, you should give it a shot, and I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Like if you happen to order something from Zen Plus someday and want to throw in a $2 pack of this, it's a decent entry in the Marutai product line. Plus you get to taste their very first recipe if you're a huge Marutai fan like me. I think that's kind of a neat way to approach this. Hopefully someday I can get my hands on their other basic stick ramen flavors and see how they measure up. And with that, this year's Marutai Marathon is sadly over. I'll be back in the new year with some interesting new stuff, some old stuff I've got to get out of my review queue, and we'll do some more mini marathons of noodles you might be interested in. So I hope you'll all join me for the next year of Noodle Journey.